Hey everyone, it's Garrett Day Carp Fishing, and today we're going to be talking drag. Setting your drag while you're fishing is important. If you have it too tight, fish grabs it, they might snap your line. If you have it too loose, they're just going to run with it. So let me show you how I set mine up. Here I got my spinning reel, and right here is where you set your drag. Some of them will have a little knob on the bottom here, some of the older, maybe cheaper reels. But right up here is where you set your drag. And I set mine, if you watch, I can feel some tension on there. And I like to set it pretty loose with some tension, just a little bit of tension. That way if they do grab it, it will set the hook on them. And then I can always tighten it up as I'm reeling in. If I'm reeling in and I feel some clicking, then I know it's too loose and I'll go ahead and tighten it up, but I don't want to tighten it all the way. It looks like I'm getting a bite. Let me set this down real quick. It'll be a little weird angle here. Alright, so like I was saying, so as I'm reeling in, I can always just reach up there, tighten it up if I hear it clicking as I'm reeling. But again, I don't want to over tighten it. If I tighten it real tight, especially when you catch those carp, when they get close to the shore, they're going to turn around and make another run. If you have it set too tight, they might snap your line. So you're going to want to leave it loose enough so that if they do run, that it pulls the drag, pulls some line out. That way you don't snap your line and lose your fish. And then let me show you on the bait casting reels how they're set up. Alright, so then on your bait casters, looks like I might have had a bite on this one too. Today I'm fishing my jello dogs and my dough bait once again. But bait casting reels, you're going to have this star right here. Usually right by the handle, whether it's on the right side or left side. And that's how you adjust it. And this one here, as you see, pulling it out, it's coming out fairly easy, but yet I still leave that resistance on there so that if they do hit it, like I said, it'll set the hook. I'm using J hooks today, but I pretty much set it the same way if I'm using circle hooks. And that's how I set up my gear. So make sure you pay attention to how you set your drag. A lot of these guys I see out here, they'll just set their poles right on the ground. If you're going to do that, I would recommend getting a decent rod holder like I have. But if you can't afford one, or you don't have a rod holder, some guys just rest it on a cooler, rest it on the back of their chair. I would leave that drag real loose. That way if a fish hits it, it'll still bend that tip over, but you're going to hear the drag being pulled out, and then that'll give you some time to grab that rod before it gets pulled in the water. Alright, so since I talked a little bit about drag, hopefully I'm going to keep on fishing here, catch some decent fish, get those on camera, so it's not just a video about setting your drag, it has some fish being caught as well. Alright, so I got my lines out in the water, went in and tightened up my slack again. I've already got my drags adjusted, so I'm all good there. And like I said, I can always adjust those, tighten them up as I'm reeling in. Or if you realize you have it too tight, you're going to want to loosen that up. Give that fish some play in your line so that if it runs, like I said, it doesn't snap your line. It's happened to me too many times when I haven't adjusted my drag, so I'm just trying to pass that information on to you guys. Maybe save you from losing a few fish and retying. See what you guys do, I'm talking to you, had another bite, so might be bluegill though. And you want to catch more fish? Pay attention to your rods, you'll catch more fish. Alright, so I hear it clicking as I'm reeling. So I'll just go ahead and give it a little half turn. But still loose enough that if they run, they'll pull some drag. Alright, so just a little guy, but it is my first fish of the day, and I ain't gonna get skunked today. He wasn't even hooked very good. So I'll get him back in the water, and hopefully I catch something bigger than this. Alright, and so since I tightened it up on my reel end, I went ahead and loosened it up a few clicks. That way, like I said, a little extra play. If something huge grabs it, I want it to take my line instead of taking my pole or snapping it. So, can't emphasize that enough. I know I've said it like 3 times, but I've lost some pretty big fish by not setting my drag. So, just wanted to share some info with you guys and maybe save you that frustration in the future. Oh, stole my bait, but I got a fish on the other one. Doesn't feel too big. Of course, if it's a catfish, feel it turning. Alright, so number 2, another little catfish. So, again, little ones. Been catching a lot of little ones lately, but that's one on dough bait, one on hot dogs. Alright, so a little bit bigger than the first 2 I caught today. So getting bigger, definitely going the right direction. Alright, and last thing you're going to want to consider is what pound test line are you using? And that's going to determine a lot too on how you set your drag. Obviously, if you've got 40, 50, 60 pound line on your rod, you really got to leave it that loose. But if you're running 6, 8, 10 pound test, you're probably going to want to leave that drag looser so that you can play that fish a little more. So take that into consideration when you're fishing, what pound test line you're using. The other day I grabbed the wrong rod, probably had 8 pound test on there, so I had to make sure my drag was set accordingly. My other one had 40 pound braid. Not too worried about snapping 40 pound braid when the biggest fish I pulled out of this lake is like 10, 11 pounds. So, but always keep that in mind. What pound test you're using on your reel, and set your drag accordingly. So those are my tips for the day for drag, and hope you guys use it and it works for you. Leave me some comments, let me know if it helped you out, or if you got any suggestions or ways you like to set yours up. Thanks for watching.